What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Cut the Crap. I'm your host, Christian, here with my main man, Rex and Steven. How's it going today, Steven?
Wonderful.
In the beautiful land of Key West over there. Enjoying that 90 degrees?
Nah, it's like 81.
Nice. Rex, my good man, how are you doing with your snow and -5 degrees Celsius you're dealing with?
It's okay. It's not snowing. It started to rain.
Oh, it started raining now?
Out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you sent me a video the other day of it snowing. I'm just like,
Yeah, earlier this week, yeah.
Now every time I look in the sky, guys, I just take a photo. I'm like, oh, look, it's snowing over here. Oh, never mind. That's just a cloud. Rex,
do you guys in Canada operate like on another calendar or something? Did you not get the memo? It's almost April.
Global warming. Stop burning all those greenhouse gases in Florida and having it trudge its way up to the north. And maybe we won't have snow in April.
I'm mad he said global warming.
Don't worry. Once your icebergs in Grand Canada melt, half of Florida will be gone. So
yeah, can't wait. Goodbye, Key West. You just only have a bridge. Dude, speaking of bridge,
it's crazy talking.
Oh God, bridges. Too soon, man.
No. Perfect incident, man.
I try to lob the segue, you know.
I appreciate it, man. It's a sad thing going on in Baltimore right now. If you guys didn't know, a cargo ship ran into a pillar. This is not the first time this has happened in America. The last time this happened actually was here in the great state of Florida, in Tampa Bay, on the Skyway Bridge back in the 1980s. A cargo ship did the same thing, knocked down the Skyway Bridge. A lot of people were killed. When it hit in Florida, it was at like 7 a.m. So there was a lot more deaths than Baltimore right now. I think they said 6 people are still missing. And they have sonar and the cars are underwater. So, they know they're there. They're trying to get the cars out. And they're hoping for survivors, but they're
come on.
Unfortunately, that's not gonna happen.
Let me just say something of that magnitude. There's no obviously, one dead person's too much. But when I seen the death count, I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's not too bad.
No, that's not bad at all, honestly. 7 people, I was like, that's not bad. Like
I read 6 at first, so maybe it's gone up. But
yeah,
even
it went
then,
up 1 to 7 now.
I haven't really looked into it because I try not to get in the news anymore because that shit's just ridiculous. But
yeah, it is.
Apparently, it was because they made it in, and they made it aware. They made like the Baltimore authorities, but Christian's gonna go into like some rabbit hole that he's probably on Twitter or Reddit.
Twitter actually it's all this guy's fault. Rex put me on Twitter, and now I'm on it.
That's fine. No, Twitter is a sick space. It's amazing, but that's one of the few places that I can literally. I have logged out of Twitter more in my life and said that's enough internet for today than I have on any other social media platform.
Bro, it makes sense, dude. So the conspiracy theory is
no, it doesn't.
If you watch the video
before you even get into it, let me just say something. Most of those things are computerized nowadays.
Correct.
Autopilot, et cetera. Pretty much it's like the old Bronco, you set it and forget it. That goes with planes. Pilots, even pilots today are now pilots of 30 years ago that they were actually, doing all the shit. Like these motherfuckers put on autopilot for I think 90% of that flight.
They pretty much just make sure that the system is supposed to do what it's supposed to do. Then, like, exactly as you're saying, yeah.
So, and the same thing goes because I actually have a couple of friends who are like boat pilots, obviously not cargo ships, but bigger vessels. I've had some friends in the Merchant Marines, and I know somebody in Miami that works on private yachts, like big ones, bro. And like no bullshit, half the shit is they just put in the computer, and then like the shit to actually navigate the boat, it looks like a fucking Atari joystick.
Yeah,
like some of the things I've seen, So like to sit here and go on like some conspiracy. Like if let's say the computer crapped out at a certain point, boats only have I mean, for a boat to come to a stop or actually change its direction, like these are things that need to happen like miles out. And again, I'm not like educated on boats that much or anything, but I know, but for something of that big of a vessel, like for it to change course, it's not something that can do
Hmm.
like on
Like
the
on a
drop of a
dime.
dime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening. And so if the computer crapped out, like you know, 1 mile out from Baltimore. Like it was inevitable.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You, I let you speak.
no,
Anything
you
else
go
you
for
want to
it.
say before I go into the conspiracy theory?
No, go into your
And it's not
conspiratorial.
me. This is what was brought up, and I just listen, and it makes sense, and it's just like, okay, hold on now. So, conspiracy theory is, what's going on. The ship had completely lost power. That's what it was. It had a complete blackout. Lost all power, all gearing, engines. It was gone. The problem with it, though, right before it happened, it lost power. It called Mayday. It called for a Mayday about 4 miles away from the bridge, right? And it's
Which
going
is
for import, which they're going to be fined for. They were going double the speed limit in the water that they're supposed to. In that port, they're not supposed to be going more than 5 knots per Twitter. The World US 16-mile bridge collapsed Baltimore newspaper thing here on Twitter. I'm looking at. So it's not supposed to be going more than 4 knots. It was going 8 to 9 knots. When you look at it, though, it was lined up perfect with the pillar right when the Mayday was called, and the blackout happened like maybe a minute or two before it hit the bridge. Like you see all the power going. Like you watch the video. So they're saying the city, this bridge has been having a lot of construction issues. That's why there was construction workers on there. It was costing the city a lot of money. So the conspiracy theory is, hey,
so insurance fraud.
insurance fraud. That's where
So
they're going at right now with this.
is the
Insurance fraud.
greatest Soprano. As a matter of fact, not even the Sopranos. The greatest episode of The Wire to ever exist, then because it was in Baltimore.
Yeah, but exactly.
Like,
So I mean,
get the fuck out of here,
they're
bro.
saying like if you watch it, like it's, and then you're looking at the video and you're like, damn, they call it Mayday
Bro.
saying they lost power, but the power didn't cut off until like 30 seconds right before it hit. So how'd you lose?
The problem that I have with shit like that is the disrespect towards the dead. That somebody's just trying to be more of an attention seeker than the victims of the fucking tragedy. That's the shit that agitates me when conspiracy theories start coming out on events like this that happen. Like, yo, let it unfold.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
agree. I'm just, listen. I'm
let
reporting
it
the news.
unfold.
I'm reporting the news from Twitter. This is not Black Twitter. This is just regular Twitter, or X as it's called. And this is from the Baltimore paper posting it out. CNN still says there's 6 people, not 7. The other one says 7. So 6 people still unaccounted for. And
can we clarify for our listeners that Black Twitter is not a separate app before some people go searching for?
It's funny. I told somebody about Black Twitter, and they're like, "What's the app called? Black Twitter?" I'm like, "No, it's not an app. You just go in Twitter." And they're like, "What?"
You gotta let the algorithm get you to the Underground Railroad, and then once you're there, you pass nigger Navy, and then you're in Black Twitter. Right? That's it.
Now, what about Black Hogwarts, bro? That was one of the best ones.
Yeah. Or I like what Cat Williams says, the kingdom of niggerdom. So that's always funny too.
Well, speaking of Cat Williams, let's go to our second part of the segment. Cat Williams is making some big news in 2024 because he called this out. He called Diddy out on the Shannon Sharp show, saying that Diddy doing some Black Jeff Epstein type shit going on.
Doing some Diddying.
Sure enough,
Diddy doing the diddle.
Diddy's houses were raided yesterday. His plane grounded. Trying to head out to the Caribbean. They grounded his plane. He was not able to leave out of Miami. And this is some breaking news going on today. The news developed more. Yesterday they were talking about it was for sex trafficking and stuff like that. Well, today actually TMZ reported that it's been leaked that's actually due to drug trafficking. Former
they're talking RICO charges from what I was seeing.
Former Syracuse basketball player is apparently one of the key like people that are snitching on Diddy, that he used to work for Diddy and moving weight out in Syracuse for Diddy on the basketball team and all the other white people that like to party up there in Syracuse. He was moving big amount of heroin and cocaine throughout the campus.
Why they gotta be white?
Because only white people mess with heroin and cocaine like that for real. Black people don't touch that. They deal with their weed. We know the deal. Come on, we know the deal.
Bro,
Rex, you messing with coke? You messing with that snowball?
Obviously, he's not gonna. Exactly. I mean, he's Canadian. He goes skiing in a different way, but.
So hold on. I mean, we talking college, but that's different. But yeah, I mean, what was it? Dreamgirls, they were banging heroin in Dreamgirls. So if we're talking Cadillac Records era, yeah, niggas was on it then. Because you would probably do less of a bid for heroin than you would for reefer back then. But yeah, I think things it changed now. But yeah,
so what you guys think about this, man? There's a lot of videos going on that he might have gotten Justin Bieber, and all these other people showing a video with him and a white girl saying that he adopted her and giving her a hug and a kiss and all that stuff. Like, well, what we think? Is he the black Jeff? Is Cat Williams right? Is he the black Jeff Epstein?
Nah, bro.
So what do you think's going to come out of this?
Let Rex go first. Let me remember the name of his.
Okay, go ahead. Thing. Rex, go first. What are you thinking? For the black community, you speak for the black people today. What do you think's going to happen?
Okay, Rex, speaking on behalf of the Black Committee, come to the conclusion of, well, the truth will reign free, right? Like if people keep coming out and there's actual more and more credited, evidence and proof that can attain such, then for sure, lock his ass up. Like to me, it's always been like if people keep bringing it up, like it's got to be a thing. Like just the internet can be wrong on certain things, but they don't take this long to be wrong. They kind of find shit out pretty quick. I give them a month because that one kid that pretended that he had like a disability, and then everyone found out, like felt bad for him for like a week because his face kind of had a deformity, but they just realized like it wasn't what they were actually saying. Like gave him a month and they picked that shit out. But yeah, like honestly, with that Diddy shit, whatever, like that's not cool, right? Like if you look at the Mace and Cameron podcast, Mace has a grin on his face, and Mace has been talking about this for a little while now. So like a lot of these guys, like they say their piece and move on, but when things come back to light, they're like, yeah, like I wasn't bullshitting, right? Like all these things that keep coming up, right? Like that ain't no bullshit. So like I said, as Cat Williams says, the truth of 2024 will come out and will be revealed, and that is the revelation of that's going on. So if you are a big dick bandit demon going around being a bat, like doing some fuck shit, like you're gonna get caught, bro. Like that's it. Like,
and this all stemmed from Cassie, the R&B singer. She filed a lawsuit. She was one of the first to file a lawsuit back on November 16 of 2023, stating from the year 2005 to 2018, when she dated Diddy. Diddy was very
the whole relationship
was sexually and physically abusive throughout their relationship, ranging from beatings and forcing her to have sex with other men. And so this is where the whole sex trafficking is starting to put through. With that going said, there's other people that have came out. I can't think of that R&B male singer that's all messed up now.
R. Kelly?
No, not R. Kelly. No, the one that was in the boy group. That claims Diddy was messing with him or whatever. His name's gonna pop up in a moment, but when it does pop up, like he's fucked up in the head now about it. He's talking about he see demons and stuff like that. Like he's all the way fucking turned up. Like this is not the first accusation this has come through, and it's just getting sad because like it's funny. I heard Diddy on the radio today, and I had to like change this. So I was like, nah, bro, I can't listen to you right now till we know what's up.
Oh my god, bro,
listen,
come
man.
on.
Can't listen to him right
first
now.
Of all,
can't
I hate you. Right, I was listening to Diddy today. Make this money, take this money. I don't care. Whatever he did, he was man. First of all, the fact that we even talking about this, I hate you. because you know I hate
how you feel about it.
Shit. Second,
feel about it.
all I'm gonna say is that will make me just reassess me giving Diddy acting accolades because that man was funny as shit in Get Him to the Greek. But with all of this shit coming to light, I don't think like if all this shit is true, this motherfucker won't act. Then that's just the shit he was doing.
Yeah.
Like just think about it. Like
I mean,
he was
the same thing with like OJ, right?
Yeah. No, but again, let me. And this is gonna sound completely ignorant as fuck. So Diddy, he's acting. All right. If a white person were to start doing everything that Diddy's doing, like trying to get on a plane and all that, that's an admission of guilt for a white person. It is gonna sound ignorant as fuck. I'm sorry, but for a white person doing all that, like getting your planes, getting the fuck out the country, that is an admission of guilt as a white person in this country. There is one thing in the United States that is one of the worst positions that you could be on, and I don't give a fuck. It's a cut the crap moment. It is a black man in the judicial system. I don't give a fuck how much money you get. Diddy, at the end of the day, he's just gonna be another nigga in the judicial system. He doesn't want to be that. It doesn't matter how much money. Yo, a black man is subject to justices that other people, bro. Epstein is nothing compared to what if they were to find some shit on Diddy. They're gonna come on him with like 1,000 years.
Yeah. And Diddy's had some family businesses starting to happen.
That shit sounds ignorant as fuck. But that is one of the worst positions you could be at in America is a black man in the judicial system. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. So like, if Donald Trump were to start doing this shit today, like getting on a plane and shit, this motherfucker is guilty.
Yeah.
100%. I'm going right away saying, yo, this man's guilty. But for Diddy, I'm just saying he doesn't want to be a black man in the judicial system. Look no further than fucking Young Thug. How long has this motherfucking shit not been going on? Like this should have been ruled on this. They just got this dude sitting in jail just to sit in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel 50-50 about that. Because when you talk about RICO charges and then you talk about that they've been doing this since the crime boss, like Italian days, right? Like they those were years, right? Like that wasn't any, so it's like, and that's what a RICO charge is. And to me, like to hold two similarities of like, the Italian mafia in New York and then like Young Thug, like it just seems like when it comes to RICO, that's how they play it out. Now, I do agree, right, that black people do get the short end of the stick in that regard, but I don't know, like if you're guilty, like go fuck yourself, to be honest. Like I feel more like that. I would have felt more that sentiment if you said that about like Sean Oakman or any like player or somebody that's been wronged, right? Someone said right, like so like he's playing in my city. Like that boy does not deserve to play in the CFL. That man deserves to play in the NFL. And because of someone, right? Like, and sometimes getting prison's easy because it's all said and done and locked up. But when you are free and let to roam like that, then you have this stain on your life. Now you have to alter all of that. So sometimes they say like it's easier being dead than to be alive in that kind of sense. So I don't know. That's just how I felt when you brought that up. Like, to me, like there's so many other cases of that where like, could have been said. Like if Diddy just looks guilty to me, and like I said, there's a lot of things that keep coming up, guilty, right? Ooh. Yeah. But the thing is, I only say look because I'm not there and I don't give a shit. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm not the one I'm just a nigga in Canada. So it looks. But for a fact, Sean Oakman, right? Like he got wronged, bro. That's the first person that comes to mind. And he got wronged.
If anything does to come out of that, I mean, I wish somebody would look at Diddy in the face and be like, "You're a stupid motherfucker. You already beat one charge. Shine fucking took how many years in jail for your dumb ass, and you out here doing dumber shit. Like, come on."
Like, this is stuff. You get this is
but
beyond dumb shit. This is serious.
But that's how the game goes, man.
No, bro.
Because how many rich people do that though.
if you don't get that, the rich people, poor people, whatever, if you don't get caught, people aren't smart to not do it again. How many cases of someone getting away with something and then they just end up getting caught down the street 2 blocks later? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just another case of that, right? If you said someone did a bid for him, yeah, of course he's gonna feel untouchable, bro. And all these stories talk about, all these crime stories talk about someone gets away once and now they untouchable. Like other people didn't realize,
OJ.
like, yeah, like the other people didn't realize, like, yeah, like you got away through the judicial system, but it doesn't mean that we can't not stop pursuing you, right? That doesn't null and void the pursuit, right? Like it just extends however many times. So if you keep fucking around, it just adds more to the list, right? So that's
People,
how I just look
but
at it.
again, this is stuff that you have to just let it play out.
Yeah,
Because
no, for sure.
the little bit that I've been seeing online, because I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I've been seeing it for like 3 or 4 months. People have been mentioning Diddy. I just don't give a fuck. Doesn't affect me in any which way.
Mhm.
But apparently, like some of the reports I've seen today, like, oh, he was flying to Bermuda, I think it was, because they don't have an extradition. But the plane was actually, motherfuckers don't know shit about geography because Bermuda's nowhere near the fucking Caribbean. You geographically challenged fucking morons. But so you're hearing conflicting information. Bermuda's a North Atlantic island for anybody who's not good with geography. It's actually about 600 miles off the coast of North Carolina. Not that I know anything about geography or anything. So that is completely the opposite fucking direction of the Caribbean. But again, social media loves to manipulate people and just, you know, get thoughts going a certain way. So it's just one of those things to just let it play
Pushing a
out.
narrative, yeah. But that's why you got to be smart with the information you receive and understand how it can be biased, it can be sauced up, right? You just got to do your due diligence on what information you're going to kind of receive as gospel.
Honestly, I mean, truthfully, it's gonna sound crappy, but I mean, he's gonna have half of, and Rex. I can't speak like Christian. I'm not gonna sit there and speak on behalf of Black America, but usually, Black America is really stays behind their celebrities when they're going through justice. As long as like no shit comes out, like this dude was directly involved with Biggie getting killed. Like people like that episode of the Boondocks, people gonna be blasting his music up until the day they put
Yeah.
it. And even then, I still bang R. Kelly. I don't give a fuck. Trapped in the Closet is a masterpiece. Fuck out of here,
Yeah.
bro. I
No,
still
and
watch.
it's funny that you mentioned the Boondocks because that's the perfect like satirical, like the whole point is, right, like the kids are the voice of reason, right? But they understand that niggas can be ignorant, right? And that's the whole thing. The same thing they did with Martin Luther King. If he came back, the man said, "I'm going to Canada," right? At the whole thing, at his whole speech, he's like, "I'm going to Canada." He's tired of all that. And it's true, right? It takes like, you're right. They do defend, but I feel like the second time around, right? Like when Boondocks came out and then the first trial, like that trial of R. Kelly came out, for sure, everybody was, for the
Well,
most
shit.
part, I say, where it was on his side, other than Cat Williams. But then, this time around, I didn't really hear much. I didn't see people defending Bill Cosby either. You know what I mean? And I don't
Well,
really hear
but
people much.
Bill Cosby was different because Bill Cosby had made a fucking decade of fucking slandering Black America. Like, oh,
Mhm,
pull your pants up, enunciate. Like, instead
mhm.
of trying a better way of empowering, he was just belittling Black America.
Yeah.
So the moment like a lot of them guys do that, that's when they get turned away. But I wish somebody would like make like a bat signal with like fucking Huey Freeman's silhouette with like just to call Aaron Magruder and be like, yo, the time
Yeah.
is now. Bring
Yeah.
Boondocks back, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yo, there's so much material. Like that's what's been
It's
going on
timeless,
Black.
bro. Yeah, it's
That's what's
timeless,
been going
man.
on Black Twitter. Actually,
Yeah.
I have seen that there's been uproar. Like, yo, Boondocks has so much material right now. If they was to
Yeah,
come
they've
back,
Sure
they've been
do.
asking, but it's a different time now, and
oh
I don't
no,
think
he's gonna get.
anybody would give them. Yeah,
No, first of all, it wouldn't be able to go on cable TV.
yeah.
Like, because Boondocks
Adult
was savage.
Adult Swim cannot, as much
No,
as they run that other shit. Like, I don't think anybody would take the chance, and that's the sad part, right?
well,
Like,
the
but you're
the,
right.
the
Yeah.
the only way that like if that show were to come back, it would have to run like right after South Park. That'd be the funniest comedy hour in the
Yeah, yeah,
history. of like the world. Just those two shows back to back and like different takes on Comedy Central, like Comedy Central. Shout out,
But
make
South
it happen.
but South Park ain't as deep as in that regard. Because I love them both.
Well, they don't touch. All right, but South Park doesn't. Yeah, because South Park doesn't get into that part of society when it comes into the whole
but they
racial
did but they
divide
did
and
the
stuff.
whole but they did the whole Muhammad thing, right? And they had the whole terrorist
I'm
organization reaching out and stuff like that. So I mean, like, again, I feel like they pick and choose, but again, it's just the notion of the time. We've had other top podcast topics on this, right? How, like, the climate has changed, right? Like it's just not this, it's just not the same. Like, I even to say that with like GTA that's coming out, like a lot of people are like, they love GTA for how raunchy it is, but I truly believe like the only thing that's going to save the game is its gameplay. But when it comes to how the radio is, the commentary that they have on certain things, the ads that we used to know and love, like that's not going to be the same. Like it's
so
going to be watered down, and people aren't going to be able to accept that. Like, bro, we're in a different time. Like we're
so
like sometimes we ask for things, we kind of like become the very rednecks that we're afraid of. Like, oh, we want
so
this and we want that. It's like, bro, things are different now.
so I'm gonna ask you on record, so we have it on record. So you think in Grand Theft Auto 6 you're not gonna be able to beat up hookers? Are you,
You still be able to
are
do it.
you,
I
you
don't
think
know
so, Christian?
if you. Oh well, I think. Will you?
Yeah, you see,
Probably.
but it just goes to what, like,
Yeah.
Why would they change it? You can do it now.
Because like
on the newest one.
Yeah, on the
pretty
latest
sure.
one, you can still beat them up.
Yeah, pretty sure.
After you take them, bang them
But
out, and they take
but
your
their
money.
whole
When they get out the car, you
but
can
the
beat them,
whole
take their
It's
money
argument
like
back.
the whole
it's like
argument with
it's
that is like it's virtual, and they've already gone to court for all that. So anything that can come back when they've already addressed, it's like to them it's like, get over yourself. So things that they have, but the things that they haven't been to court for is how they handle the raunchiness of GTA. They get them for the senseless violence, the things that you can do, but the immersiveness, like when you're listening to different radio stations, when you're in different areas and you see how different people say things and react to you, that immersiveness is going to change, but they haven't
the
brought that up.
the reason why I asked is because you're talking about the whole PC thing. Like, there's certain
Hmm.
because it's going to be watered down. The reason why I asked that particular thing is because a few years ago when EA in FIFA, when they finally put women's teams, you can't
Hmm.
play men versus women in FIFA
Yeah.
because they said that condones abuse of women because you could be fouling. Like, how fucking retarded is that? It's a video game. Excuse me for using
Yeah.
the R word internet while we're trying to be PC. But like, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, it's a fucking sports game. Like, but we're in the, I don't know. We're just, it's a weird fucking time.
They make the rules.
Some
Okay, so you know what? So what's funny is, and someone made a theory about this, and I kind of think it's not too far off. So I don't know if you guys heard of the game Helldivers 2. By the
I've heard of
resounding
it.
silence, I take it as a no, or someone has. So the whole point of that game is to promote democracy in two sections of the galaxy, one against like these terminoid spiders and others against robot automatons. So the whole theory is that big companies like EA, Rockstar, they can't do that because they're promoting a political thing, right? And it's masked under something. So, our internet sleuths, the same ones that would watch hours of a 4-minute footage of a cargo going into a bridge and to come up with whatever canonical theory that they choose to, would be the same people, same group that would then say, like, these guys are promoting, this kind of political belief and view. And then, they could end up being pushed into a corner that's not what they wanted. You know what I mean? So I think that's also very true, that like they have to understand their audience and how people can react, right? Because I mean, bro, even my mom tells me, you're black, how you got to act in public, you got to be careful because people may take that in a different way than the way you may be trying to give it out, right? So it's like, again, I think it's those things that they have to be in mind, that it's like an image, a brand, certain. So I also do think like that's another layer that that gets thrown into it.
Since we're talking about good interviews, Shannon Sharp, the Godfrey episode is pretty good.
Yeah. I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Godfrey's my dude. Going back to what you were saying,
Bobby Noblai.
That you have to. Yeah, it was a good one, Christian. If you have it,
I'm gonna check it out. I was just typing it when you were saying it. I'm gonna check it out as soon as it's done. But
I fuck with Godfrey heavy.
All right, guys. Well, that's what we had for today. There was one more topic I wanted to jump into. We just ran out of time on it, so I'll wait till next week to talk about it. Steven probably knows what I'm talking about with our favorite company being sued. So,
who got sued?
Ooh, you have to tune in next week to find out.
Ooh.
So, anyways, listeners, real quick before we head out, just want to
shout out to Epic Games.
Shout out to everybody for listening. We appreciate you guys. Let us know your feedback on it. What do you think about the whole bridge conspiracy? Prayers and thoughts go out to the families of the missing and the dead. Also, what do you think what's going on with the whole Diddy allegation being the new Black Jeff Epstein? What's going to happen? I know Steven doesn't like to get in, so we appreciate you getting into the celebrity gossip for once. But just let us know what you guys think. We'll love to hear your feedback like always. You can email us at cutthecrap1@gmail.com. That's CUTTHECRAPP1@gmail.com. You can send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Twitter. We're all over the place. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. And like always, if you have our personal numbers, feel free to reach out to us there as well. We thank you guys for listening and watching. Till next week, we catch you guys later. Peace.